What's going on, bulls? Today, we're going to take a look at this FUD going on with Bitcoin. Don't be fooled by this. That's what I'm going to say. In my own opinion, I say don't be fooled by this. Again, this is not financial advice. Do your own research, all that stuff. I'm not a financial advisor. But in my opinion, don't be fooled by this. So Bitcoin sinks to 2-week low as China intensifies crypto mining crackdown. Obviously, you can't call this positive news for Bitcoin or crypto in general. So this is the first time Bitcoins fell below 32,000 since June 8th, which is, about 2 weeks. China's crackdown is extended to Sichuan. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. So in other words, it's went to all of China. The People's Bank of China, if I ever saw an oxymoron, the People's Bank of China, okay, urged Alipay and some major banks to crack down on crypto trading. So they are basically taking private companies like Alibaba, Alipay, Alibaba iCloud. They're telling private companies saying, hey, you are not allowed to do anything in crypto. Welcome to a super communist country. Welcome to the Chinese Communist Party. They are not cool. They're not. And this is a battle, in my opinion, that China is fighting because they see it as possible them losing power over their country's finance. Because they're scared. That's what I think. Why would they be taking such effort if they weren't somewhat threatened? And this is a battle they can't win. This is only one that they can prolong and extend. They can't win this because you can only prolong this. That's the only thing I have to say. In my opinion, you can only prolong this because people want freedom. And Bitcoin allows financial freedom. Freedom with your finances, anyways. And freedom for your finances to not be inflated away. Freedom for your savings to not be inflated away is maybe better. We got Jim Cramer here. I basically don't like anything Jim Cramer says. I don't think he's very smart. I think he's just entertaining as his little show. He sold almost all of his Bitcoin after China's crypto crackdown. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I can't necessarily believe anything he says. If he sold it, sure. I don't doubt it is going to go down. If there's a chance it goes down. But if it does, I'm just buying more. I kind of want it to go down, honestly, because I have a goal of acquiring one additional full Bitcoin by the end of the year. And I don't have $30K to drop on a Bitcoin. Not that I need an entire Bitcoin to reach that goal, but the lower it goes, the more I can buy, because I'm buying Bitcoin almost every day, frankly, while it's down. I wasn't buying it at 60,000, but I've been buying it while it's been in the 30s almost every day. So, of course, it fell too low. Jim, if he sold, maybe he did. If he didn't, maybe he's just trying to knock the price down more so he can buy more. Or maybe he's part of the media machine, the institutional machine that says, let's knock this thing down as far as we can so we can buy more of it. Because that's a real move that institutions will do because they have the buying power, but they also have the influence and the connection to media to drive the price down so they can buy a lot of it. Seriously. That's a real move. There's nothing conspiracy about it. That's a real move out of their playbook. Seriously. An estimated 65% of global Bitcoin mining is done in China. That's according to blockchain.com. Pretty interesting. Could that be true? Yeah, that very well could be true. Also, seeing here that in the past 8 years, this type of story has risen its head at least 3 times, right? So China has been increasingly fudding up Bitcoin, straight up, trying to move them out. And this is something important to notice, too. According to the Global Times, it's estimated that 90% of China's Bitcoin mining has been shut down. And that very well could be. It could be 100%. One thing that's the people that are really, really, really benefiting from this right now are the miners that are up and running. Because Bitcoin, it gives out its reward, which is 6.25 Bitcoin per block, which is solved about every 10 minutes. But the Bitcoin network adjusts its difficulty level so that the blocks are mined at a consistent pace. It adjusts its difficulty level based on the amount of hash rate or processing power that goes into the system. So if it's true that 65% of global Bitcoin mining is done in China and 90% of it's shut down, the miners that are mining right now are getting a much bigger piece of the reward than they've gotten in a very long time, at least for the next 2 weeks or so, until the difficulty level adjusts, because they'd be roughly getting double the amount of Bitcoin from every block that they were getting before. Hope that makes sense. Something to note here too is in this article they say Bitcoin in China, most Bitcoin mining relies on coal power. I have not found that to be true from what I've looked at. Now I could be wrong. What I found is most of it is done with hydropower. Coal power is kind of cheap, I guess, but it's not as cheap as hydropower. Because this is just natural water spinning a wheel, creating crap loads of power. And these miners, when they move, which they're in the process, they're going to be looking for two main things: a crypto-friendly government and cheap power. And it's going to need to be green power, because this story has to go away, and they know that. But they're trying to reduce their carbon footprint so that people can stop coming up with some reason to talk crap about Bitcoin in general. And now we're going to move on to Death Cross. We've talked about this over the past few days. Now, there's the Death Cross right there. We're going to pull up a chart and look at that closer very soon. The original cryptocurrency has formed a Death Cross, where the 50-day moving average dropped below the 200-day moving average. This is reason to believe the formation this time around may not be as bearish of a signal, given that the 200-day moving average is still rising, according to Matt Malley, Chief Marketing Strategist for Miller Tabak and Company. I'm not sure how much a Chief Marketing Strategist knows about this, but I see his point. When it starts declining, that would be more compelling. I understand. And it very well could start declining, because if the price of Bitcoin doesn't go up, the 200-day moving average is going to start declining. So, something to note is Bitcoin's death cross that happened in March 2020, it gave no impediment to gains. As a matter of fact, it went higher and formed a golden cross, which is where the 50-day moving average moves higher, crosses the 200-day moving average to go above it. Now again, 2-week low. Now this 30,000 level, which it briefly touched in its, what they say, brutal sell-off in May, which was very quick. It was pretty abrupt. Should that happen, it could have a tough time finding support at $20,000 range. I'm not 100% what they mean by that. I think I'm not sure if they mean it might be hard for it to get down to 20, or it might be hard for it to not go below 20. I'm not sure what they mean there. Either way, your boy's buying Bitcoin, because I am beyond my lifetime long on Bitcoin. There's just so much that makes so much sense about it. It solves a gigantic problem that that humanity has had its entire existence, never more apparent than the last 50 years since we've went off the gold standard. In August 15th actually, will be the 50-year anniversary of Nixon announcing we're going off the gold standard. And ever since then, it's just been paper money with nothing backing it. Just a piece of paper with nothing backing it. Bitcoin is an asset. Poor people work for money. Rich people work for assets. Real estate is an asset. Gold is an asset. Bitcoin is an asset. It's not a physical thing. But have you been around for the last 25 years? What's been happening in humanity? Year over year over year, we are going more and more digital. Our lives have become more digital every single year. I don't see that stopping anytime soon. Not to mention the technology of blockchain and the Bitcoin network is truly decentralized. In case you don't know what that really means, because I talk with people about this, and I find that most people don't really understand what the decentralized thing is. It means there is nobody, no organization, nothing that can affect Bitcoin. Like the US dollar, yeah, the Federal Reserve and the government can just do whatever they want with the dollar. They can make more of it. They can charge more taxes. They can charge more capital gain. They can make more of it, and they can just inflate it, is what I'm really getting at. And back it up by nothing. Just print. And what that does is that just makes you and me poorer and poorer and poorer because we're holding cash or fiat, and cash is trash. It's literally going down in value every single moment. Where assets are going up because they are the inverse of fiat. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm sharing my opinions and perspectives. It is the inverse of fiat, of cash. Because no matter what has value, things have real value. Fiat does not have real value. US dollar does not have real value, not long term. It goes down in value. It's buying power every single day. And as they print more of it, its value goes down more because the supply goes up. Bitcoin solves our entire financial problem because it actually gives us a true, scarce asset as our form of currency and money. Now, when will we ever, if ever, start exchanging Bitcoin with one another? I don't know. I don't think that that's anytime real close because of the volatility of Bitcoin. It's up and down. It doesn't make sense to give it or receive it as payment, really. Unless you're bullish on Bitcoin or you're bearish on Bitcoin. If you're bullish, you're saying, yeah, sure, pay me in Bitcoin. Because you know long term, Bitcoin is going to be worth more than whatever the hell someone just paid it to you, even if the market goes down temporarily, which it probably will. If you're bearish, you're like, I don't know about this thing. Yeah, I'd rather, it's at 60,000. Yeah, let me pay it. I mean, not a bad idea because now it's down at 30 and you look good for now. But, in 5 years when it's $1 million, you're going to feel like a donkey. I think what we need to do is we need to actually look at what is money. What is actual money? I don't think most of us really understand that. I didn't until I really started diving into this about it, within the past year. I understand what true money is now more than I ever have. And I realized, wow, there are very few people that really understand what money is, not because the information isn't available. It's just because we are taught and shown bad money, bad elements of money, not what real money is and what to do with it. So in reality, I just want to get as much Bitcoin as I can. And if I want to buy real estate or something, I'll get a loan and I'll use my Bitcoin as the collateral because I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. My Bitcoin is possibly the most valuable, can end up being the most valuable asset mankind has ever known. You could argue land. I get it. You can argue land. But land has its pains in the butt, right? You got property taxes, you got maintenance, you have upkeep, it has expenses. Bitcoin, you get it and it just sits. Oh, but it goes up and down in price. Well, yeah. But overall, it goes up massively more than any asset humanity has ever seen. Like if I came to you and I said, hey, this is thousands of years ago, I came to you and said, hey, you know that gold stuff that it's pretty cool? I think that's going to become the top form of money and trade in the world. And it's going to be like that for thousands of years. What? A piece of metal? No. I'm going to keep trading cows. That doesn't make any sense. This piece of metal, this hunk of junk? Nah. It looks nice, but no way. That's what most people would say, probably did say. That's what I'm saying about Bitcoin. This is gold. I'm saying this is, in my opinion, not financial advice, Bitcoin is gold. I know you've heard digital gold, but that's what it really means. Like, this is gold before it's gold. But this is better than gold because it actually is scarce because you can always mine more gold. You can't get a crap load more gold. You can only increase the supply by about 1.5-2% a year. Stock to flow ratio, hashtag. Bitcoin, there's only going to be 21 million ever. There will never be more. That's true scarcity. So its value can only go up. And it is consistent, and that does away with inflation. It's actually deflationary. So as you can imagine, the opposite of inflation. You can buy more and more and more with your Bitcoin instead of less and less and less with your dollar. There's lots of fear. People sell during fear. Let's look at that chart real quick. My computer, this is the second time I'm shooting this video. My computer locked up. Did the same thing yesterday. So my video, when I was almost done, locked up, and I had to restart my whole freaking computer. But you know what? I think I made an even better video for you now. So good thing. This is the year to date of the Bitcoin chart. The up and down blue is the Bitcoin price. Black is the 50-day moving average. Green is the 200-day. Here we are today. There's the 19th. So you can see that the 200 crossed, went higher than the 50. So the 50 went under the 200. On the 20th, that gap widened, and today that gap has widened even more. So now the 200 is over $1,000 above the 50. So the death cross gap keeps widening. I mean, the cross is the cross. It's the moment it crosses. But the gap keeps widening. And with the China FUD Bitcoin mining stuff, you know, I do expect the Bitcoin price, my opinion, I expect the Bitcoin price to go down more. I expect it to go under 30,000. And I want it to, because I want to buy more at less. In 5 to 10 years, each Bitcoin is going to be $1 million+ dollars. In my opinion, just my opinion, I can't guarantee it, but everything makes so much sense for that to happen because of the different markets that are out there, such as the bond market. Of course, gold is the first thing in sight. The gold market cap is around 10 to 11 trillion. Bitcoin market cap right now is probably sitting at about 700 billion. So it means it's got about a 14x to go to get to gold. That's definitely going to happen, in my opinion. I don't see how that could possibly not happen. And then it's like, well, in reality, once it gets to 5 trillion, which is half of gold, then it gets in a new class of asset, a very, very rare class of asset that now you got more institutions and countries and big, like $100+ trillion institutions, trillion, I said that right, looking at Bitcoin as a viable asset. And then it really takes off. That's what I want to say is it's just an exponential thing. As Bitcoin gets bigger, it gets bigger faster. Like snowball. You got a little snowball, you roll it, it's getting bigger, it's getting bigger, it's getting bigger. But once it gets to a certain point, it just starts picking up so much snow that it is getting so massive. And Bitcoin is a value snowball, it's a value ball. As it rolls and gets more and more value, it gets more attention and more money gets thrown at it, more comes to it because it's seen as this viable asset. And then once that starts happening, you'll be like, wow, I wish I'd bought more Bitcoin. Anyways, well, that's the video for today. That's what I got for you. Check out the links in the description. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Really supports the channel, and we really appreciate it. And check out the links in the description if you'd like to support the channel even more. And you can get yourself $25 of free Bitcoin. So check it out. You're awesome. I'll see you tomorrow.